Are you sitting comfortably? Then we'll begin.
Welcome, everybody. It's the show that sifts through the sewers of the White House to find out the answer to a question nobody wanted to ask. What the hell has that orange-painted idiot done this time? And wow, do we have some answers for you. Dunk is just a tiny bit late. I think he's out back right now defending his backyard from some angry raccoons. Not sure he'll be here soon. We got Nick Suter in as well. How's it going, man?
Going good. I was wondering where you were going with the intro, because you're like, we sift through the sewers and found Nick, and here he is with us today. I was like, so I'm pleasantly surprised. Good to see you. Very good to see you. How you doing?
Good to have you back over. And you know, like we were talking pre-show, it's coming thick and fast right now. Like for yourself over on In Time, you guys very much try to, deal with the important, pertinent news that really matters to people. Are you at the point now where you're sifting through the list and you're like, what's important now compared to like 2 years ago? Do you just stay on the air 24/7?
That's a good question. Well, we cover breaking news, as you know, and it's like we've had a few days where it's like, okay, this is the third breaking news, and then when we have a day and there isn't, I'm like, okay, I can chillax. And I was like, no, you need to be doing like all the thumbnails and checking the Discord and doing this. Like, so yeah, it's been a little crazy. The biggie that happened a couple days ago was I was sitting down and we were just we were workshopping what we were going to hit next. And we come in with Trump just committed like 3 felonies in his latest order. And I was just like, okay, we're not going to cover that. And we all just everybody agreed. I mean, there was no pushback. Everybody was just sitting there going, yeah, let's just not cover it. Mm-hmm. Because it's like, in order to cover it, it would actually be more trouble and it would annoy the audience to cover it. And the reason is because in order to cover it, we'd have to cover how many he's committed in the past, how he's immune from these, why it doesn't matter, and that, what's the Supreme Court's going to do. And we have to cover all this BS to tell you that the fact that he's just committed 3 more felonies means squat. So I'm just like, so we're not going to cover it. I was like, okay, we've crossed into some really weird.
Yeah, exactly.
And I wasn't sure to be proud of my guys or scared that the entire team were just sitting there workshopping this. So we're like, yeah, we're not going to cover the felonies. Screw it. It's just like, okay.
Which felonies are this? Are these new felonies that I've missed in the past 5 minutes?
Yeah, Trump woke up and got out of bed, and boom, 3 felonies hit the floor.
Well, actually, I think that one of them was pertaining to we did mention it. So he likes to give Biden a hard time for the auto pen, and so one of the things is now somebody pointed out that all the insurrectionists had to be the auto pen because he pardoned 2,000 of them in 24 hours. So obviously he used the auto pen. So on the Justice Department, a bunch of the pardons for the more well-known people were taken down due to technical error and then came up again, signed by hand. So he has re-signed, but this time by hand, a number of the important pardons. But there's a couple of problems with that. First of all, they're still claiming that they're the original pardon. So they're basically destroying the record and recreating it, which is right out of 1984. The other thing is, the original pardon was a federal document signed by the President of the United States. And even if it was with the auto pen, if it qualifies as his signature, it's a felony to destroy it. So what'd they do with the original pardon?
That's a really good question, because I'm pretty sure Pam Bondi threw like a Band-Aid on top of it in the garbage recently.
Yeah, no, there's no way. I mean, they've all been destroyed. I've got no doubt. But I'm just sitting there going like, so, I mean, if this happened in any other administration, everybody, but it's like, there's so much, it's like whack-a-mole. It's like whack-a-mole, except there's 3 million moles and I've been given a spoon. It's like I don't even have a hammer. I got a spoon and I gotta try to fucking hit yeah. Wow. Only you, Dick. Only you could take that to okay. We're off to the races.
Hey, since Blowjob Bubba hit the news, I've been using that one a little too much as a background joke when people are talking,
That's why I come to the Shills, to know that I am respected when I speak. It's that overwhelming feeling of
love and camaraderie, right? Yeah. So, Dunk, how's it going? What's happening?
Not a lot. Well, I don't know. There probably is a lot of stuff going on. Just been up to my eyeballs with work, and then Kelly stayed up late, and then I had to go and help her get to bed and do her medicine and all of that kind of rigmarole in the evening, and turn up here, and I still don't know what the hell's going on.
There you go. Well, at least it's a consistent day for you then. Right?
I'm just coming in blind.
So am I. I called up Commander and said, "Are you going? Because I don't plan on. I'll just piggyback off of whatever you say. So you say something interesting." And he didn't show.
Yeah. We need somebody to go around Commander's house, throw some rocks at the window because his mom won't let him play. We got to sneak him out.
Get the boombox play In Your Eyes, and be like, "What's on the Shills?"
So, as it pertains to news, instead of just, jerking around about it, what do you want to actually start with, Sir Nicholas Lamar Suter from In Time News?
I've got a couple of stories. Some of them are actually really fun. I'm going to start, though, with one just because, in my view, it's like the nearest and dearest to everybody's heart. Is the and let me make sure I can find it, because you and I were talking about this. I have found it. Okay, perfect. The war in Ukraine, there's this deal now, and there's no way Zelensky's going to take it. And we're all sitting here going, how is this going to end? And the original plan has been to crush Russia, because they're not going to stop, and they're a threat to all democracies. They're a threat to all of Europe. So Russia has to be wiped out. And it's actually, I hate to say it, the Ukrainians know it, we know it. It's an opportunity to wipe them out if we take advantage of it. So they overextended, the Ukrainians just kick ass. So let's do that. We have a president now who's not as interested in doing that. But so how do you know whether or not we're being successful? Well, we got a really good sign. There's been a number of good signs. First of all, they've been laying off employees. They've been cutting back the hours that they pay people because they can't pay people. And now the Russian central bank, for the first time, I believe, in history, is selling off the physical gold reserves, just selling them in order to pay workers from the government. So
is Trump redecorating the White House again?
well, he is the one who's going to be buying them. And
with Saudi money.
No shit. I'd laugh at that joke, but it's a little too on the
I
nose.
know.
And he had the royal prince who murdered Khashoggi and then had him cut up into 12 pieces. That's a guy you want. And then he defends him. Oh my! You see, this is the thing. I can't do the news, Dick. Why did you have me on? I can't finish this story without getting into the fact that he brought into the White House a guy who literally had people chopped up and ordered it and was fine with it because he's probably done it himself.
Yeah. I mean, you look up the term hefty bag in the dictionary now, and it shows this guy with a fucking hatchet, you know?
Yeah.
Have a go at my bestie. He's my bestie, you know.
Yeah. You know, I don't care where that hand's been. I'm going to grab it.
I was going to save this for later, but Trump, I love it when Trump interrupts. And so, and when someone's talking to someone else and Trump interrupts and answers for them. And so he did that with the Crown Prince, who they said, you know, the CIA has said that you ordered the murder of Khashoggi and it was your people who did it. What's your response to that? And Trump interrupted and said, how dare you offend him with such a horrible question? Yeah. And, you know, mistakes get made. And, you know, we don't always know what's happening. It was just like,
and he said, you know, and not everybody liked that guy.
Yeah. Oh my God. And I'm sitting there going, so I think he did the same thing with the new mayor of New York. He interrupted and it was a great thing. So if you could play that clip, I love this clip. This is a great clip.
I want to ask the mayor-elect about a House resolution just passed overwhelmingly to condemn socialism, including with 86 Democrats, all of House Dem leadership, and the minority leader, Hakeem Jeffries, despite his endorsement of you. What's your reaction to that?
I have to be honest with you, I focused very little on resolutions. Frankly, I've been focusing...
Socialism.
I understand. I think the focus is on the work at hand. I can tell you I am someone who is a democratic socialist. I've been very open about that. And I know there might be differences about ideology, but the place of agreement is the work that needs to be done to make New York City affordable. That's what I look forward to.
And I want to clarify your answer to Stephen Nelson. He asked about your comment calling the president a fascist. And your answer was, both President Trump and I have been clear about our positions and our views. Are you affirming that you think President Trump is a fascist?
I've spoken about...
That's okay, you can just say yes.
Okay, all right.
Okay. It's easier. It's easier than explaining it. I don't mind.
I don't mind, just go ahead.
Oh, sorry, it played again there.
Just call me a fascist. That's all right. We both know you mean it.
Yeah, exactly. Did you bring that little stick-on mustache for me? Zorhan, did you bring that? You know?
It's like I said, there's just too much. There's too much.
It comes so thick and fast. I mean, we could go right from, it's okay, you can call me a fascist, to, how dare you, I want them killed.
Yeah,
that would be what we'd be tweeting about, and when Truth Social would be demanding that, hey, he called me a fascist in the White House, the bastard. Sting him up, the communist Muslim fucking bastard.
Communist Muslim.
Yeah, send him back to where he came from. From Bongo land or wherever. Yeah, he'll just go completely batshit crazy, psychotic on him.
Yeah.
Well, so, I'm reasonably sure he has no idea what the term means. He doesn't know what socialist. He just socialism bad. He doesn't actually know, and it's just as most people don't. Anyways, I'm sorry. What were you going to say?
Oh, I was going to turn to you. I was just bringing up his. I was bringing up his shits on Shit Social there just to show everybody.
All right. So Russia's gold holdings exceeds 2,300 tons. It's the fifth largest reserve in the world. They've actually, and here's the other thing I did not know, the finance ministry also has roughly 230 tons of gold. But the finance ministry has, since the start of the war, sold off 57% of that.
Whoa.
They've already been selling off gold, and the finance ministry is so low in the gold that it needs in order to keep the economy liquid, to keep actually paying people, that the what is it? The central bank has now had to start selling its gold to make up the difference.
Doesn't that
yeah.
doesn't that have unbelievable effects on currency and the world stage and stuff now?
First of all, it depends on how quickly they do it. So we don't know. Like they're probably doing it now to try to do it reasonably slowly. Because the faster you do it, what happens is, of course, if you sell as much gold as you can as quickly as possible, well, okay, the supply of gold is going up. That means the price is going to plummet.
Yes.
So you can change the price inadvertently by selling it. So what they're going to do is they're going to sell it as slowly as possible. But yes, the price of gold will probably go down. It will probably start to flood the market some. The price of gold has been going up really because everybody's afraid that in the U.S., there's first of all, there's a bubble in AI that once that bursts, what they're afraid of is once that bursts, because the economy hasn't felt the effects of the Trump tariffs, which we're all expecting, but hasn't hit yet. So we're like, what the hell's going on? And so what we're thinking, the current thinking is maybe there's a bubble in AI, and that's propping up the economy. And as soon as that bubble pops, we end up with where we were in 2008, which would be terrible. So gold has been going up. So now is actually the perfect time for them to do that. But what that indicates is, and what they're selling off these assets, what that means is, A, they're having a hard time paying their bills, and that's why they're doing it. But B, that means they're having fewer reserves to pay people who have money in the bank, including and especially really only the oligarchs. So the oligarchs are not pleased by this because it means they won't be able to withdraw from the bank themselves because the reserves are being tapped. So it's a very good indicator that the economy, it basically is proof of one of two things. Either A, they know absolutely nothing about economics, which is not true. They do know something about economics. Or B, that the economy is so bad that they're now having to prop it up because these reserves exist for a reason. In fact, this is why they exist. They exist for emergencies. And that indicates that their economy is currently in an emergency situation.
Which is great news for most people.
Yep.
Yeah, you know, when things are going bad in America, when they sell off their secondary Federal Reserve of gold and just sell Mr. T.
It's funny.
The whole point is he's a walking reserve, so
Yeah.
it's hard to nail him down. It's like, where Fort Knox is, but where's Mr. T right now?
Yeah.
You don't know.
He's never on a plane, that's for sure.
Yeah, so very good news, because anything that can hurt Russia financially reduces their effort in the war in a huge way, because their meat grinder approach isn't always the best. And if they don't have all the money for the toys and tools to go into the meat grinder will seriously start to fail. It's great news, There is some stuff on let's go to the Epstein Files here.
Sure.
Right?
We got them.
Actually, yeah, Pam Bondi was here about half an hour ago. I keep telling her, show up in leather and lace or we're not playing, honey. But
or she can show up. I mean, last I heard, she was interested in Vance, so she showed up as a leather couch. But, she got the vinyl on, and
can you imagine those two thinking they're like king and queen of the Republicans? Oh my God! But you got Trump. Okay, so the vote's coming. Trump realizes he's going to lose. And he does the whole, okay, fine, sign it, go ahead, we'll release them, don't care anyway. So all kinds of Republicans jump ship, sign it, it gets to Trump's desk, and he signed it. Does anyone here believe that they don't have a plan in place and they think they're getting off, they're going to get away with the, not truly releasing all the information, or whatever the plan may be? Does anybody believe that this flip-flop is honest and real? Because I sure as don't.
No,
Well, I
it's
mean,
not.
even if it's true, even if they are going to release them and they release everything and they just do it, and you can't help but believe they're going to twist and turn because that's what they've done all along. Every single thing they've done has been, distraction or delay tactics or something or other. So it's no surprise that people expect that, none whatsoever. And
Well,
I'm pretty sure, guaranteed, that's what's going to happen.
I am sure it is a complete coincidence that in the Epstein Transparency Act, which is the name of it, it says that the DOJ can withhold any material that's needed for an active investigation, and 24 hours after the discharge petition succeeded, they opened up active investigations against Clinton, against his Treasury Secretary, Chase Manhattan, and a whole bunch of, they opened up 6 different, active investigations immediately after, less than 24 hours after the discharge petition to bring that to a vote came to fruition. I'm sure
and
that's
a double-edged thing, Nick, because A, they get active investigation based on the files so they can do as they need. And B, they get to strut their ostrich wings going, look, we're going at the Democrats.
Well, and yeah, it's a bit of a double-edged sword because the other problem is both Pam Bondi and Kash Patel testified in front of Congress. You can get it on YouTube. It's easy enough, saying that they weren't going to have any more active investigations because nobody else was implicated. They had completed their review of these files, and there was no evidence against anybody else whatsoever. Now they've just opened up 6 active investigations in violation of her testimony. So which one's the lie?
Did you see that coverage of her just stuttering? Well, new information.
Where's the new? Sorry.
Yeah. I mean, there's also that the whole transparency bill it's got some wording in it that's really pretty vague, like they will not release files of a personal nature.
Yeah, it's stuff that could harm or embarrass or something. What was the wording of that garbage?
Yeah, but if it's actually, I thought it was pretty well written actually, and that the harm or embarrass applies only to victims. To victims. It does not apply.
I did not hear it put into context like that. Okay, that makes sense.
If you read it, it explicitly bars them from withholding information just because it's embarrassing to a politician, civilian, or influencer. And it specifically says members of government. It explicitly bars that as a reason for withholding.
Right. The dirty doers.
Yeah.
I want to just quickly pause for our sponsor for tonight's show, the JD Vance Fall Collection. You can see it here. It's a lovely couch look. It wears well. You can catch it at pick yours up at the closest Nazi rally. I'm sure that's where he's selling them.
I want to see her turn around so I can see the cushions.
I don't want to see the cushions. Please don't show me the cushions.
Yeah. There's a seam in those pants nobody needs to be looking at.
Oh dear.
Dunk, what do you anywhere you want to steer us, or are you the peanut galley tonight?
Like I said, I got nothing. I've come with nothing. I can go and have a look if you want and just pick some random stuff. But literally I've come prepared. So unprepared, it's unbelievable.
Oh, that's funny. We've got one here. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. has instructed the CDC to change the stance on vaccines and autism, and it is already changed on the website. Yeah.
Yep. I've forgotten the name of the guy you guys may remember who created the fake study.
What's his name? Wakefield. Andrew Wakefield.
That's it. Andrew Wakefield. That is it. That guy has done more damage.
Oh my God.
Holy shit. When you think about the amount of damage that guy's done to human health in general,
Yep.
to people not just in this country, not just in the UK, but in countries. It's just absolutely amazing. It's
Yeah.
all of human development. This guy is, because he wrote one fake study that he's admitted was fake, that was caught as fake when none of his results could be reproduced.
It even goes deeper than that, because all the fakery was because he was developing a vaccine to release.
Yep.
It was all for fucking personal profit.
And I get, it's weird when people do corrupt shit that's reasonably corrupt, but the consequences end up being so profound. It's the same. Hold on one second. I want to let me look something up real quick.
Sure. As a lot of you may know, my son is 18 and he's on the autism spectrum. So the name Andrew Wakefield doesn't roll off the tongue. It more like goes into my wall like a dart, but I still remember it well.
So the human being currently held to having been responsible for the greatest number of deaths and damage to human health. Any thoughts as to who that is?
Well, I'm sure RFK Jr. is rising on the list, but
well, there was a guy who decided to put lead into petrol.
That's it.
What's his name? Yeah,
Thomas Migley.
That's
Thomas Migley.
And then he went on to decide to use Freon gas in refrigerators.
Yeah.
And he designed a device that because he was kind of like on the spectrum himself. He designed a device that basically it was like a cuddle machine, and you got inside it, and you just basically get squozen to happiness. Unfortunately, it squozed him to death.
Wow.
I did not know
killed by his own machine. Yeah.
With the leaded gasoline, he figured out apparently before everyone else that there was a very real chance that the lead was causing harm. But because it was his product, because he was making so much money off of it, and because it was the easiest and only solution to the knocking problem they had, he allowed Ford, and who I think was originally the ones who had hired him to solve the knocking problem, and other companies to continue to fight it in court and to say that leaded gasoline had no impact on human health.
Yeah.
And the lead, the way somebody first figured out that it was a problem, I forget, somebody was trying to get like ice core samples, and they were getting all this lead in the ice cores, and they were trying to right at the top, and they were sitting there going like, it was how we're contaminating this.
It was Claire somebody, and he was trying to gauge the age of the earth, and he couldn't get the fucking lead out of the samples, and it took literally half his life.
Yep.
And he fought and fought and fought once he figured out what was going on against that stupid government science asshole who was saying, no, lead's fine, and man, what a joke.
Stop complaining and have a cigarette.
That's what they said to my mom when I was born.
So, and I don't think he was necessarily a bad guy. It's just one of those things where he should have known better. And then by the time people figured out the consequences, it's like, wow. Now, in terms of what is it? With the fake results for that kind of shit happens. Even in academia, from time to time, people make up results and it's unethical, it's bad. But usually, you just lose your license to practice, and then the study gets buried, and you're a footnote in. The guy with the autism study, the damage just will not fucking stop.
I know. I've been hearing this all my life, dude. Like, but especially now in the last 20 years with my son, 4 or 5 times a year, I'll have some hillbilly fuck who picks his belly button at the dinner table ask me if my son was vaccinated. And I just instantly look and say no. Because I don't want to have that imbecilic, ignorant, freaking uneducated discussion, you know?
Yep.
Imbecilic.
It's not like you can have a discussion at a scientific level.
Yeah.
It's just going to be some guys read some stuff on Facebook.
With belly button guy. You know?
Yeah. I just can't stand that, right? It drives me crazy. But at least it's a really good alert sign, because as soon as somebody brings it up, you go, oh, and I'll turn to my right and see what somebody else at the table is thinking right now, because you don't discuss. It's not worth it, right? If you take a sledgehammer and crack the man's skull open like a walnut, there's nothing inside. Why bother arguing?
Speaking of war crimes,
because that's a transition.
Was that a segue to our sponsor tonight? Speaking of war crimes.
Well, there was, and that was the other one we did cover, but we were talking about when Trump called for the murder of,
oh God,
6 members of Congress.
People he should have said thank you for your service to.
Yeah. And he called for their murder, and it was like there was sort of a brief, do we go live with this? Because do you know how many times he's called for somebody's murder? And I was just like, yeah, but this is Congress. And I was like, yeah, but he's sort of done it for them too. It's just like, I know, this just feels different. Yeah. But he's putting this out on, they've literally just said, all they said was, if an order is illegal, don't follow it.
Yeah, follow the law.
Yeah, which they're already told, they're already taught, and is part of the what is it, the Code of Justice, or Military Code of Justice. So they didn't say anything that controversial, and he's saying George Washington would have hanged them, and it's just like it was oh God. And I mean, for me, it was one of those editorial calls when we went live with that, because for me it's sort of like, it really does. And a lot of mainstream media said this is an escalation in the rhetoric, and I think it is, but it's hard to tell because he's made so many threats to so many people.
Yeah.
That it's just like, but since it is, they did call the police, which was good, and they filed hopefully a criminal complaint against him. Nothing is going to happen, of course. So it's just sort of like, okay, so he did that today, and then we'll figure out what he does tomorrow, whether or not it's yeah. So the editorial bar for it's really weird. Oh wait, how many felonies? If he hasn't committed 6 felonies, I don't want to hear about it. We got too much shit to go through. Yeah. We're not going to report on it unless.
Yeah, if it's less than 6, that means he hasn't got out of bed yet. Like wait for it to build up.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. The CDC vaccine safety webpage was updated Wednesday, and now it says the statement, vaccines do not cause autism, is not an evidence-based claim.
Holy shit.
Exactly. I just want to get my full feelings on the matter out right now. What the hell? It absolutely is. The idea that this man, who sounds like he's gargling Trump's nutsack every time he opens his mouth, could possibly have something to add to the world except disease itself from swimming in shit-infested rivers with his grandchildren, is just starting to irritate me on a level that is really producing rant-like behavior.
I knew they had changed the website, and I knew that it no longer reflected that
reality.
No, it no longer reflected that autism, you can't get autism from vaccines. But to actually say that the claim is not evidence-based is
That's like saying, well,
wow.
you say the theory of gravity, but that means you're not sure of it because it's just a theory. That's not how it works.
Jump
by the
off the
way, the
Empire
Earth is
State
flat.
Building. Jump off the Empire State Building, hang there for 5 minutes, and explain to me about how gravity is just a theory. Let's have that conversation.
Yeah, please. I can't wait to have it when you land.
It'll be a lot easier once you've landed.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have a press conference ready for you at the bottom.
Yeah. The mic will be sat real low. I don't think we're going to need a podium.
Yeah,
A really old joke. Really old joke. It's so bad, but that you guys might like it. So 2 drunk guys in a bar, and one of them says, this bar, if you go to the roof, on the 6th floor, there's actually an area where there's an updraft, and it's so high that it just knocks you right back if you jump. I goes, no way. He goes, yeah, let's go. So they go all the way up to the 6th floor, go right up to the roof, and the guy says, okay, you want to see me do this? He goes, yeah, go ahead. He goes, okay. Guy jumps off and then floats right back. He goes, wow. He goes, do that again. He goes, yeah, sure. Jumps off, floats right back. Goes, it's great. It's the most amazing feeling in the world. I said, well, let me do it again. I just love doing this. Jumps, floats right back. And the bartender's up there with him, just sort of watching the thing. And the other guy goes, oh, let me try it. He goes, yeah, it's great. And the other guy goes, jumps, splat, and dies. Bartender goes, you sure are a mean drunk, Superman.
I like it. That's funny. That's funny. I like it.
Wait, was he in uniform?
Probably not. Presumably not. If he was, I would hope that the other guy would have figured it out. But who knows?
So the other guy, the bartender, has actually managed to see past the glasses disguise.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. Sorry here. 1 second here.
Yeah, they're not evidence-based, really. It's for again, it's the degree in philosophy. So I start to get concerned about the degree to which you're making a claim or not. And it's just sort of like if they remove if they don't take a position on autism one way or another, it's bad enough. I mean, that's really bad. But to outright make a positive claim, that to say there is no evidence, not even to say that it doesn't cause it, which we know it's not. We don't have evidence. We have facts. We have knowledge. We know for a fact it doesn't. But so what they're saying is to make the claim even. There's no evidence to even support the claim. It's just like, holy shit. Wow.
Yeah.
That's yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, real science-based evidence is now dying at the CDC.
Yep.
So, I mean,
well, it's not dying. It's just being disguised and hidden away. And there are scientists still there. What's left of them, and
eaten up by the worm.
Yeah, I'm sure. all the good. I mean, they did have a lot of doctors, come forward and file a complaint. Can't remember about which part of it was now, but they're constantly battling, RFK over these issues, and I'm sure they're seething in the background as well. But he's the one in charge of the website.
That Dunk, you remember I brought this up yesterday when we were chatting. So Nick, this is kind of, if you were like a high-ranking official in the military or somebody high up in the CDC, one of these institutions that is somewhat under threat right now, would you bail because it's just ridiculous? Or B, would you stand your ground to be one of the last lines of defense? So, like, if you're in charge of a destroyer, do you stay in command of the boat so that you can be the one to say, no, I'm not killing innocents, fuck you? And do you stay at the CDC so that you can be there to try to make it right? I mean, how do you play it out?
I think it's a case by case basis, but I've noticed this. I have and we've all been in situations like that, admittedly, with far fewer stakes. I've been in situations like that, and I've usually been the let's stick it out and see what we. And in part, I think it's just because I like the challenge. And so they're just like, let me see how. Let me be the soul warrior and see what I can do. And I mythologize. I think I can do more than I really can. And then by the end, it's sort of like, the ethical person has to bail. If there's a positive to be done, it seems to me that appears less frequently. I mean, there have been a few. The ones who stayed at the Justice Department only to resign now have actually been of benefit, because that's going to be the next story I'm going to cover is all the ones who ended up resigning just recently. Had they resigned sooner, their resignations would have been meaningless now. And what's happening now, though, still is happening, but there's more light being drawn to it. It's very hard to say. So I think it's a play by ear, but most of the times when I've stayed, staying for a little bit can yield some benefits. Staying for any significant length of time, no, you're doing no good.
Agreed. Quick shout out time. It was a little while ago. Sorry. Yvonne Way with a super sticker came in. So big heart, send some applause, because that's how we roll around here. And she had the little fox guy doing the hi everybody thing. So pretend I'm a fox. Hello, everybody. I know it's not working.
It's going to take a lot of imagination.
Exactly.
Smelly rodent.
Yeah. Thanks, Yvonne. Very cool. Very cool. So, Nick, you said you were going to take a swear again?
All right. Well, this story is Schadenfreude 101. Holy shit. Okay.
Here, let me get a cigar.
This is oh my God. And okay. Trump has decided he's going to prosecute his former enemies. And so among them are Letitia James, who's the only one to successfully get him found guilty. And the 37 counts of felony counts that currently are on him are as a result of that indictment. And James Comey for the Russia investigation. Now, they've decided they're going to try to indict James Comey. They got an indictment against him, but the lawyer that was supposed to do it, who was I think it was actually the D.C. U.S. attorney, said, no, I'm not going to do it. And the reason is they are required not to bring indictments against people that they think there's a reasonable chance they're innocent. They're not allowed to. It's unethical. So he actually wrote a paper or a memo saying, don't bring an indictment against Comey, and this is why. He either quit or was fired, and Trump replaced him with an interim attorney. Let's see, Lindsay Halligan, I think it is. Yeah, Lindsay Halligan.
She's just like a Christy Gnome in waiting, as I can see.
My God. So she was previously a one of those, have you been injured in an auto accident?
An ambulance chaser, right?
Yep. And she only did defense. This is her first prosecution, and it's at the federal level. Yeah. She is representing the United States versus Comey. So it turns out... Yeah.
Oh, I get the impression it's like giving Fred Flintstone a Tesla and telling him to drive it.
That would be a better scenario than what we have seen here. She is going to be lucky if she doesn't end up in jail.
Wow.
she's in trouble. This has gone sideways in ways that every legal analyst that I know are sitting there going,
So what you're saying is she's not going to win that set of steak knives then?
Right now, they haven't had their first day of trial, and it's looking like they're not going to. There's no way this thing gets to trial. There's no way this thing gets to trial. She has committed so many, what the judge has called cardinal sins, violated at least his Fifth and Sixth Amendment rights. She has lied to the judge twice. She has withheld evidence from the judge. She's in trouble.
Holy shit.
Yes. So, as they're going through the indictment, there's a confusion about whether the indictment has 3 counts or 2 counts. And the judge asks for all the indictment materials, and she hands him 2 separate indictments. One has 3 counts, one has 2. He says, wait a minute, which one of these is real? And she goes, well, they're both real. Well, we tried the 3-count one, it didn't work, and then we knocked off a count and tried again. He goes, wait, you don't get to do that. You get one shot. And so she and then he said, now wait a minute, was it the same grand jury? And she said, yes. He goes, well, how the second set you just knocked off the first? How did you get the indictment with the same grand jury on the second 2, even though they declined all 3 when they had the chance, but you knock off one? Did you add information? Did you do anything? And she goes, no, I didn't do anything. He goes, okay, I want to see all the transcripts of all of the grand jury material, which is very rare. He looks at them, and there's 2 hours missing. He goes, where are the 2 hours? Oh, those are the deliberations. Nobody was there. Says, okay, well, now wait a minute. It says you handed them the 3-count indictment. Then there's the deliberations. Then they come back with the 2-count indictment. Is that correct? And she goes, yes. He goes, when did they get the 2-count indictment? And she's like, oh, well, I don't know, Your Honor. It's like, well, you said you had no interaction with the jury during the 2 missing hours, and yet somehow they got a different indictment. It had to have happened during the 2 missing hours. When did they get this indictment? And she goes, well, I'm not responsible for the first indictment, actually. I'm only responsible for the second one. He goes, have you seen this indictment before? She said, no. He said, well, wait a minute. Where did it come from then? And she goes, I don't know. Well, did it come from your office? And she goes, well, yes. He's like, okay, your signature is on here. So he's now scheduled another hearing to have to go. It gets so much worse.
Is she operating with like an earpiece and Trump is telling her what to say?
No, I don't even think Trump is this bad. This is just.
Can I just interject with a thought from pop culture?
Please.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So the judge then hands all of the information to the defense, which is extraordinarily extraordinarily rare because normally they don't unseal those things. It's supposed to be a secret, but he says there's shenanigans we want to know. And now I'm going to start to read from the transcript from the last hearing.
Oh God, here we go.
So he's starting to get into some of the problems that they have found, and they've found an interesting problem. According to the judge, quote, the government presented this case to the grand jury the same day prior to the grand jury presentment. The agent, and there was an agent who testified in the lead case, notified the prosecution that an attorney with the FBI's Office of General Counsel had told them that evidence obtained in the government's investigation may constitute attorney-client privilege or attorney-client confidential information or evidence obtained from attorney work product information. Now, she had already said that this was the only evidence that she had that got them to convict, which means she knowingly used evidence that was privileged in order to get the indictment against Comey, and that she had been informed of this right before she used it.
How is she free and on the street?
The government's decision to allow an agent who was exposed to potentially privileged information to testify before a grand jury is highly irregular and a radical departure from DOJ practice. And what they're saying is only after they subpoenaed all this information did they find out. Then they're talking to her about the material, and then they said, okay, they interviewed the foreman, and the foreman signed both indictments. And then it turns out, when talking to him, that he was the only one present for the second indictment. The jury had already gone home. So the jury said no to the first indictment, went home. Only the foreman and one other juror remained. She presented the second set of indictments to them, and they signed off on them.
Check their bank records right now.
Two of them.
Check their bank records right now.
Well, no, I don't think there's anything wrong with them, but the point being, the entire jury has to vote on either set.
Yeah.
And so only two people from a grand jury of 16 actually voted on the second indictment. They voted yes, and that's what she is now using to indict Comey.
Now, I may be, I'm not a lawyer. Okay, I admit that. I might be a little bit confused, but I thought, isn't that the point of a jury? To have the entire jury sign it off, not just one and the fucking caretaker. Or whatever.
I think that's
then
a very
it turns out
question.
it gets better. The foreman did not want to indict, even with the evidence from the illegal evidence from the agent. And he said he had a lot of questions. She then said, well, that is for Mr. Comey to answer at trial. He has to answer these questions. According to the judge, the prosecutor's statement that Mr. Comey has to answer anything at trials is a highly prejudicial misstatement of the law and a violation of Comey's Fifth Amendment rights, because he does not have to testify in court. He doesn't have to answer any questions to anybody. He can sit. He doesn't even need to put on a defense if he doesn't want to.
Right.
So she literally told them he has to answer those questions, and if he can't, he goes to jail, which is not how the law works. And the foreman said he wouldn't have signed the thing if he hadn't have been told that.
We have a question for this pseudo lawyer here. It's a well-known figure from the channel.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
I'm sorry, but you get the cat, bitch. That's just it. That's all I got.
Oh yeah, and she said that he had to prove he had the burden of proof to prove he was innocent.
Oh, what?
So she's now on the hook for violating his Fifth Amendment rights by saying that he had to answer questions, and his Sixth Amendment rights by telling the grand jury that he was guilty until proven innocent, and so they had to sign.
How can an ambulance chaser not understand burden of proof?
I think she just thought she wasn't going to get caught, and she's never done a grand jury before, so I think she had no idea. And here's the thing, remember, she was put into this position to do one thing, and that's to successfully bring charges against Comey.
God, I thought you were going to say get on her knees. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. So she's just sitting there saying, if this is secret, nobody's going to know. If I lose the trial, that's fine. But let's see. That statement clearly suggests that they did not rely on the record. Okay, probable cause. So she had her ass handed to her by the judge. Quote, the second indictment was a new indictment, and therefore the undersigned concluded after reviewing the grand jury transcript that the prosecutor would have presented the second indictment to a grand jury for consideration before it was returned to open court. It now appears that did not happen. So what he's saying is she did not, before getting the signature of the foreman, she didn't show it to the entire grand jury. So the grand jury, the indictment that's being used, the grand jury never saw.
Wow.
It'd be funny if she gets into jail before the person she's trying to prosecute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, findings by the court. He has a lot of findings.
Sorry, Nick. We got about 2 minutes, and then we flip to the after show.
In short, he finds that the grand jury transcript likely has been tampered with, and he has not gotten the full transcript. That either she has lied or she is wrong about the timing. She has manipulated and tampered with the jury. He finds multiple causes for dismissal, and he finds that extreme violation of Comey's Fifth and Sixth Amendment rights have occurred, and he is right now in the process of deciding their motion to argue that essentially there's actually no indictment against him. The indictment does not count. It never passed a grand jury, and they're going to throw it out.
Yes.
So that is where we stand. It is. Oh, one last thing that I just have to say. It turns out that the president is only allowed once to replace a U.S. U.S. lawyer, a lawyer for a U.S. attorney. And the one that he just fired was his replacement. So she's likely not actually legally a U.S. attorney. So that is also being heard for both her case against Letitia James and this. So it's entirely possible she doesn't represent the state of the United States, and it cannot legally have brought any of these in the first place. This is the clusterfuck of all clubs.
Everybody watching, you guys want to hear the rest of this? We're flipping it to the after show where we're going to dive into this and a few other topics as well. Let me get a couple of shout outs in before we wrap this one up here. We got Lindsay 1050 in the chat there with a super chat. RFK equals 2 brain cells fighting for third place. I fucking love it. That's awesome. That gets hearts and a horn. And then Niles Knudsen in the chat's gifted out memberships, and there's 5 of them. Always loving the new members. Please think about sticking around when it ends. Huge thanks to our team. We got Mexi Girl, Shayna Caldwell, PJ CNET, Liam Wakefield, Chris Lundy, Jose, and Super Chat Matt. Dunk, tell them about the after show and we'll hit the button.
Well, as Dick says, there's going to be an after show, so make sure you come over to the after show in the after show hours, and that's the after show at the Shills after show.
We're out of here. Click the link. It's a redirect, and it's in the description. See you there, fellow babies. Thanks for joining us.
Stay tuned.